Alright, today we're gonna talk about Blitzwing. Hello, welcome back to DreamsZones. Today we're gonna review the ZV02 Flash, aka the Bumblebee movie, Blitzwing. In this video, I will mainly do a review for this figure and included all the accessories they come with. And the next video, I will talk about how to do my custom repaint and also modifications. Please stay tuned and check it out. Okay, without further ado, let's check out the box first. This comes with two boxes. The first one is this large box. It's printed in black color and the design is really simple. They don't have any artwork. Basically, it's just a title. But I like the color match. It looks really 80s feel. And the next small box, as you can see, they are wing and mask. Basically, make sure when you get this figure, you get this box as well, because all the accessories, including the wings, mask, and all the missiles are in this box. The figure is large and also covered with really nice double clamshell. At the clamshell, as we can see, they do have their stand right behind it and the menu. The menu is printed in full color and all transform parts been highlighted in yellow color. It actually is not bad, and especially in these sections, it's really helpful when you do a transformation to jet mode. I'll explain it later. Here we got the iconic fighter jet accessory, the arm cannons, and also with a very nice detailed motor stand. Okay, here we go. All the parts has lined out, including the figure in front of us. Obviously, they come with two wings. As we see, both of the wings has motors with really nice detail. When I got it on hand, I feel the wing is really solid. It both painted in the grey color. It also highlighted some red color, which is accurate with the movie character that I really like. Here we have the arm cannons. It's painted with multiple color like grey, dark silver, and also been highlighted in red color. And the motor detail is good. When look at the image I found online, the design is more close to the CGI instead what we see in the movie. Here we got the two side wing fuel tanks. It's painted with two types of color, and all the motor line has been painted as well. And next we got the center fuel tank, but on this one there's only come with one color. And again, all the motor lines also been painted. Inside this bag is also come with some side wings, which is used in the board mode. And most important, they come with 3 LED compartments which is for the eyes and also the firejet engine. Although it's a push button functions, it's nice and solid. So far this is one of the best LED compartment that I see. To activate, you need to use these two of the SR621SW or 364 battery. You can easily find online. After you fit it on, simply push the button at the back and you will see the bright red LED light. And inside the same bag you will see this small button. Actually this one you need to fit at the back of the head to trigger the buttons of the LED light. Alright, here we got all the side wings and also the iconic electro spike blade that he used to disable the Bumblebee voice functions. The motor detail on this part is fantastic. It looks like he got the finger holding on this part. It looks amazing. And about this small wing you need to apply on the board mode. But surprisingly, he gave me an extra pair of the bat wings. Maybe just in case I break it. But look at the materials, it's quite strong. Hopefully I won't break it. And here we got the missile holder. It has been painted in like a milky white color and also some dirty wash. And here we got all the missile in front of us. But unfortunately they didn't do any paint on this one. It just comes with the original motor color. Totally is 8 missile, but there are 2 different types. To put them on is really simple. Simply line up together on this way and then push it in. They will lock in place, and the other side as well. Both type missile can fit on the same holders. It depends which one you like to use on the boat modes or on the jet mode. Here we have the stand. It looks so cool. It reminded me the Iron Man suitcase. The smart part you can use it this way, depend on your space, or you can just open up like so, and all the extra part is hiding inside. What a great idea. The stand has molded with all mechanic detail. It looks really cool. I believe if you put any Transformer figure on top of it, it would definitely look nice. And look at this stand support. The detail is fantastic. And this lower joint they can angle up in different way, and also the top section can be pulled out. But only downside is when you pull it up, they don't have anything to lock in place. Basically, I was worried if the figure too heavy, they will drop down. But again, it's really tight, so I think they can hold the figure well. And on the top sections, this part will be attached to the figure. And the good news is, on this part they did create the lock. So you can angle up any angle you want it and just simply push it to lock in place. Even you will find the detail on this size small support part. This really make me feel what is mean quality. To form a stand, it's really straightforward. Just plug in the main support on one corner, and the side support can be in the center or any angle that you want. And after that, you can line up correctly. Under the main support there is a hose, simply plug in to form the stand. Here we got the very solid stand, and the good news is it can be transformed. Just fold it this way. The advantage is you can also display even though you have a small space. Before we review the main figure, there's some part that need to be aware. The shoulder. And I have found some related documents in the social media. I believe it's released from the official site. Some of the player might be mistransformed, overdo it, and cause to break the shoulder joint. In the shoulder section, there is two joints designed like an L shape. What you need to do, you need to line up correctly on the both sides and push it in, and then you need to hook it up by pushing forward. Just make sure you don't overdo it. Until here, they will be fine. And we do the same on the other side. Line up correctly and simply push it in, and you can hold it this way and give a push forward so the front will be locked in place. And the next is the second joint at the back. You need to hold in this way, hold on the shoulder, simply push it down so the joint will lock in place, like so. When you do it correctly, on the other side you will see both of the shoulder line up correctly with the body. And next we quick assemble all the small wings to the bodies. Before attach the jet wings, we need to do a small transform to make it to fit the board mode. We leave the side part, fold the small section wings like so, and then we need to rotate this main part all the way through like so. There is a pick there, you need to push in to lock it in place. And then in this small part, there is a ball joint there. What you need to do is just fold it in like so, and angle up this way. And also fold the small pick on the side to the forward directions. You might also know in this pig actually has miscalculations in all figures because the pig is too small, so end up when you plug it in, it won't stay well. So what I have is, I have applied a thin layer of super glue in order to thicken the joint. After they dry, I just plug in and they hold better. Yeah, sure, there is a multiple option you can use, but I always use super glue. I think it works fine for me. I use the same method to the other wings as well, so now I plug it in, they will hold better. Alright, next is my personal reference. On this jet engine sections, I actually prefer to transform the other way. This is the way most of the people transformed it, but my one is slightly different. I will flip it over these two side sections like so, and then push it down. When I put the wings back to the figure, and the jet engine will show more, and it looks more nicer, and also more accurate to the CGI. And next we can attach all the fuel tanks to the wings, and also the missile on the leg part. And also don't forget the LED. First we remove the head like so, and next we need to fit in this small part, and after then we fit in the LED compartment like so. Just make sure when you put it in, you need to push it down like this way so the LED light can go through the eyes. And now we can assemble the head sculpt back to normals and give a good test. There you go. Alright, here we got the ZV02 Flash complete figure. There is a multiple version of Blitzwing in the market, including non-transformable 3A versions, but only the XX01 and this one can be transformed. Although both are released about the same time, but unfortunately all we know the Thunder Warrior XX01, there are problems on the feet. That is the reason I get the Zeta toy. But surprisingly, when I got it on hand and I compare with CGI, in my opinions, except the 3A version, this is the closer one. Yes, sure, because the 3A version, we no need to consider the transformations to a jet mode. There is a lot part couldn't hide, just like a CGI, but Zeta toy did it really well. Although they are not 100%, but it's super close. You might not agree. Here is the footage I'm showing you. After I do the minor repaint, the result is stunning. Don't worry, I will show you guys how I did it in the next video. On this figure actually come with many of die-cast parts. The most obvious we see is the arm. On this white arm section is actually made from die-cast. And the die-cast also on the upper thigh. Both of the feet are made from die-cast. Including this section and the top section also die-cast. Alright, let's have a closer look of the detail. We start from the head sculpt first. Compared with the CGI, they're doing good on the face sculpt but not sharp enough. When I look back to the research that I got, as you can see the picture on the grade mode, all the detail has molded a lot more sharper. It's so unfortunately they didn't deliver on the final products. When I look at the body part, all the detail has been molded perfectly. I have compared closely to the CGI. I can see the designer had working so hard trying to bring us the most accurate details, including some of the parts that we hard to see in the picture. When you look closely, you'll find out there is detail molded in all parts, and that's we have to give a round of applause for the designer team who designed this figure. Although this I call it good figure, but still there is some problem on this figure need to do a modifications. The first, the shoulder wing is just too loose. So what I did is I add some super glue on the hinge to make it thicker so it can hold better like so. And the next is the major one, is the back wings. The design of the pig is actually hold the position of the wings, but it's not accurate compared to CGI. Also, it comes with a very loose joint. The wing will not stay on the position. And the next is a major one. In the social media, I see some forum, most of the people mention it, the arm has been detached just a couple days of playing with it. Luckily, the one I get don't have this problem. The cause is because the whole arm was attached, supported by only one small screw. If unluckily detached, you can always screw back. And next is the thigh. This whole section was die cast. Maybe the die cast is too heavy or the spring is too weak. It didn't hold well together. It's really loose. And here I share with you one of the major problems of my figure is the joint too tight. Because most of the parts has been painted right before assemble, so it becomes thicker and really stiff. If you just move it in the wrong angle, you might end up breaking the joint inside, like what I did on mine. Just like an arm, the whole leg are supported by this small screw. As you see on the left leg, I have fixed it by using a larger screw, and luckily it fit perfectly. I have already ordered the replacement kit, but I know in this COVID pandemic seasons, the postage will take ages to arrive, so I decided to fix it myself. Here I show you how I did it. I simply used a replacement screw that I found in hardware shop, lock it both sides with the ring, and after then I cover back with the sections so it will not affect the joint and further damage the parts. After the repair done, the leg works fine. It's also tight enough. If I want the leg hold better, I can always screw it tighter. Not only the hips joint, actually the whole leg joint is just too tight. I believe this is the first figure I need to loosen all the screw in order to make it work well because it's just too thick on all parts. Alright, let's do a quick comparisons. Here I have the KO G1MP star screen. As we know, before the Bumblebee movie release, when we look at the trailer, I thought he is Starscreen, but actually it turned out it's Blitzwing. But anyway, I love it both. Now we definitely can see the different generation creations stand together. And next we have a Metal Deformation F12 KO NPM10, aka the Michael Bay Transformer movie Starscreen. Although both have the movie range, but the design is totally different. For me, the Michael Bay version is more like alien lookalike. Compared to Bumblebee Blitzwing, it's more human lookalike. But I love it both. What do you think? Leave the comments below and let me know. And next we have a Toy World Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie. I have done some research. Optimus Prime should be taller than Blitzwing, but on this figure they are about the same tall. Because in the Bumblebee movie, we don't have chance to see them stand together. Blitzwing actually died in the beginning of the movie. And here we go, we can see them stand together finally. And last but not least, here I got the TE Bumblebee that I done review before. As we see, based on the research that I got, the TE Bumblebee is just too short. But no worry, here I got the TC02 Beetles. Compared to this, the scale definitely looks slightly better. But again, if we compare with the official original scale chart, this Blitzwing is still slightly too tall because of the long legs design. And next is articulation check. The neck is based on double ball joint. They can rotate 360, look up and down, no problem. And also when you go to the side, the neck can move forward and backward. But when you go to board mode, the neck should be a bit more forward like so. The mouth actually molded in separate sections. You can remove that if you need to do so. In this shoulder section, they come with individual hinges. You can lift it up, rotate in different angle you like. And the arm can lift up all the way and then rotate 360, there's no problem. Just be careful, that's very tight and the joint is not as strong as it should be. And the bicep can do 360 rotations. At the elbow, there is double joint, so you can fold the arm like this way. At the lower arm also can be rotated 360. And the arm can be open. Inside they got a double missile, which we all know Bumblebee used this to kill him. Because of the transformation need, on the wrist there is a joint and you can angle up like so. The hand got 360 rotation and all fingers can be articulated individually. The waist can be rotated 360, but it's been limited because of the leg. Same like the leg is been limited when they lift up, so far this higher it can go. And the thigh part got the rotations, so you can do 360. And the knees is double jointed, so you can fold it one way, and you can do a second fold on the lower part, like so. The feet also based on double joint, you can move it forward and backward, and also you can do a side tilting like so. And come to the back, all the small wing is based on ball joint, you can rotate and display in all angles you prefer. Last but not least is the back wing. It should be angled up in the V shape. I think because of the wings too heavy, the joint cannot support, so it kind of loose. When I get the figure, I like to use the most of it. Here I find out this section can be lifted up, so I decided on the bubble I will transform in this way. In my personal opinions, I think it looks a lot more cooler. And you can see one of the early concept art I found online, it looks exactly the same. So I decided in the rest of the video, this is how I display on the board mode. Alright, next let's try on to fit the arm cannons. First we need to hide the arm missile, remove the hands, and simply line up the arm cannons and plug it in. On the other side, we can plug in the spike blade.
I'll never talk.
Is that right? Then let's make it official.
Alright, next is a transformation to jet mode. First, I like to remove the wings. You can actually transform with the wings on. Because it's too big, I actually prefer to remove it. And also remove the missile on both legs. We start from the arm first. First, we open up the arms and fold the missile inside. And we rotate to 90 degrees. And then fold it in with the double joint and cover back these sections to lock it in place. And next we rotate the arm all the way up like so, and we rotate the bicep on this way, and we do a rotation on the shoulder wing sections, and then it can cover up like so, so the whole arm has locked in place. We do the same on the other sections. Open up the lower arm and hide the missile inside, fold it up with the double joint elbows, and then cover up to lock it in place. Lift up the arm again, rotate by the bicep, like so, and then on the shoulder wing section, rotate it, and then we can cover it to lock it in place. Rotate the hand like so, there is a joint on the wrist, angle up both hands like so. Make sure you push these sections all the way inside, and then you can lift up the engine sections. Collapse both small wings, unfold this part like so. Inside this section, they do have some pinch and hold. Just simply line up and push it down, you should be able to lock it in place. If you can't collapse it all the way through, the cause is because the engine part you didn't push all the way in. And next, we work on the arm sections. On this part, release it, and also the Y section as well, and we do the same on the other side. Release these both sections, and inside you can see the hinge there. Simply use your finger, push outward, and you can release this section and fold it out. And next is the most crucial and sensitive part. Make sure you don't overdo it. Simply line your finger like so, and then use your thumb and push upward, and they should be released. And we do the same on the other side. Place your finger like so, push the whole section upward by your thumb, and you see they release easily. And next, make sure you rock the section backward before you release it, so it won't cause any damage. And here you see the shoulder part has connected with a very small joint, so what you need is carefully rock it backward. On this section, simply use your finger tilt up to the side. And next, we need to release these carpet sections. Rotate this part and push it up, lock it in place. And then we rotate the whole section up like so. And next, we open up both of the side sections. Tilt the head backwards before release it. As we can see, there is a joint right here. Carefully release it and put whole section out. After that, we can open up these whole sections to release the jack nose. It might be difficult, you might need some tool to help you to release it. And also, we need to tilt up. Inside, they have a small part that we have to fold it out as well. And this is quite complicated, so what you need is, before you pull the whole thing out, we have to fold the die cut section like so and fold this whole section in again. you might need to take time adjust all parts in order to collapse it all at the same time. On this part, there is a pick there. You need to line up correctly and push it in. But before that, we need to lock the carpet part first. As you see, the carpet part is not a lot of space. In order to lock it in place, you might need to use a plastic string. But make sure don't overdo it, if not you will end up breaking the hinge. This is how I do. Line up one side, push in one side first, and then we can do the other side securely. In this part, you might need to use a bit force to push it in place. Make sure you don't over push. When you see the joint are lined up flat, that's complete. And now we can join this section together. Simply use your thumb pushing this part down to lock it. And now we can fold the side panel in. Slightly slot in like so. There is a pinch underneath, so what we need is squeeze it in to lock it in place. Make sure they're nice and flat. And we do the same on the other side. Slide in these sections and then pinch it in and lock it in place. In this section, you need to line up this way to lock the jet nose. This small part on the jet nose is really important. Without locking in correctly, the nose will leave a big gap. Alright, here we go, we have Robotech in the house! Alright, let's continue. Next, we need to rotate this whole section all the way to the back. And now we need to transform the leg. Start from this part. Open up and rotate like so. In this section, we just line it up like this for now. And next, we need to release the feet by unpick this part. On the front, we just push back like so, and now we can open up this section on the feet and rotate like so. And on the heel as well, release it, fold it in and collapse it together with a double joint. And tilt the feet downward like so, and we can release the top sections and rotate like so. Now we can leave this section for the moment, and we work on the other side. On the side section is a double ball joint base. Just tilt it up and release this small section inside out and line it up correctly to form a top panels. And now we can fold the feet inside like so. When you look from the side, it should stay flat like this. And next, release the inside leg section and rotate like this. And the top wide panels, we can release it, line it up flat with the inside section. Using the double joint and line it up all in place, and then we can push down to lock it in place. And I just realized on the side section, I should have locked it in place before I put the feet in. Alright, undo it, release the feet first, line up the side sections correctly, pinch it in, lock it in place, and now we can put the feet back to the positions. And also I leave this section open up. And on the other side, we can see we should be able to line up all parts and to lock it in place, reduce all the gap. And now we work on the tail, open up like so, and rotate all the way. And open up these panels. As you can see, inside got a panel. We need to open up with the ball joint, rotate and line up and lock it in place. So after that, we can fold the section in like so. Open up the triangle section, flatten it. And the other side, we can see there is a gap there. First, I need to line up correctly on the top part. We need to line the small sections in the gap. Make sure you don't overdo and force it in and cause the break of these sections. And in this small section, I simply just push it in to lock it in place. And I believe this is a safer way to do so. And next, we need to push the tail part to lock it in place. Inside is double joint, so you just need to adjust a bit. And you can see there's a rounded pick there. When they line up, you just push it in and they should lock it securely. And also inside, in this small panel, you can see there's a pick there you will need to line up to complete. So far we have done this side. Here you see all the part has been collapsed and used most of the space. And now we quickly done the other side on the same way as well. We start from upper thigh part and release all the part from the leg. Release the heel and double fold it inside. Rotate the front toes. And now we can release these whole sections. Angle up the heels on the side, create a clearance. And we can fold the whole section out like so. Release this small part inside the side sections and angle up from the top panels. And angle up this side section to the pick, and we can pick into these sections to lock in place. And put the feet inside, make sure it lies in flat. And next we can open up these panels. And the side panel, rotate it to this angle. And join these two panels together and push it down to lock in place. Open up the tail like so, and we can angle up this way and do a full rotations. Open up the triangles, release the panel inside, and make some clearance so the outside panel can fold in like so. Adjust the side panel like so and lock in place. Place the top section on these positions, and then working on the small wing sections, open up and align correctly to the gap and push it in to lock it in place. adjust the top sections to the right position. And after that, you can line up the tail and lock it in place like so. Last but not least, make sure these small panels are lined up correctly in these positions. After most of the part done, it's time we can collapse and join these two feet together. Take your time and slowly line up all the part and the joint. The design for the jack mode is really good. When you line it up, you'll find out there's always a pick or slot there. You can easily collapse them all together. Here we come, the most difficult part is slot the arm inside the body. As we all know, there is not much space. Simply lift the arm up and align correctly, slot into available space. You don't need to force it, but again, there is a lot of part that without a joint. For example, this section don't have any joint to lock it in place, so they will be kind of pushed away by the arm. All you need is use your finger, tilt it up and adjust it. This will be fine. When you see the whole arm collapsed inside, and now we can lock the shoulders by simply just push it in. On this section, as you see the small wing on the shoulder part, it actually stuck there. Just make sure you push it all the way in. There is a space that perfect fit for it. When all done, now we can line up the small part and to lock it in place. And inside, you make sure all the fingers are lined down flat in order to let this section fold in completely. After that, and here is how it looks. Let's go back to the instruction manuals. This part I mentioned it is very important because it indicates all the parts. When you compare with it, you will know is there any part has been wrong transformed. Alright, without further ado, let's continue the transformation on the other part. First, we angle up the arm on this way and then fold it in. You might need to adjust a bit and clear all the clearance. And be careful the small section, you need to fold it up. Get over these small panels and then the arm should sit in place. So we can adjust the small part like so. After everything in the positions, we can collapse the whole sections. Simply push it in to lock in place. Also need to close this section as well. And after that, and you can just simply squeeze the whole sections. On this panel, there is two holes and there's two picks there. First, we fold the wings inward and line it up. I will need to make sure both in the positions and then we can push in to lock it in place. When you're doing this, at the same time, you are also lock the small sections on the side. After that, you will see the whole plane body is solidly locked together. And last but not least, we need to transform the wings back to the jet mode. Before you rotate the section, make sure you put the pick in the correct section. You need to move it forward in order to do the rotations. When the small wing on the way, we just unfold it and then we can clip it in. On this side section, we angle up in this way first, adjust the fuel tank and fold the small wing up and then straighten the fuel tank like so. And now we can rotate these sections, open the small wing like so. As you can see, they also have a rounded peak and square peak. So what we need is squeeze it in the angle, just rotate and lock it in place. And we do the same on the other side. Rotate these sections, open up the small wings, and then flatten these sections, and now we are ready to pick in. Slightly angle up and push it in and rotate clockwise to lock it in place. Optionally, we can also flip up the back landing gear. After you flip up the landing gear, you will see inside the wheel, or even though the cover is molded with full detail, it's just like model kit level. Not only that, at the front landing gear, they actually create a spring for it. And also inside is full of molded detail. What an amazing job. I'm really impressed. Alright, here we go. We have the Blitzwing transformed to the F4 Phantom fighter jet complete. Oh wait, let's add on all the missiles and have a look. Wow, look at that. In the menu, actually they didn't show how you apply it, but based on the research I got and I just follow, and it just looked perfectly. It's the first time for me to get in touch on this fighter jet. When you thought there is a lot of missile going on, let's check it out. Look at this image. All the missiles, fuel tank and weapons it have, this F4 Phantom fighter is a beast. Alright, let's get a closer look at all detail on the jet mode. The jet modes look great, although there's many parts combined together, but I can see they fit really well, they are not gappy at all, and most importantly, when I'm playing around, all the part has locked solidly, not even one piece has popped out. If I really want to complain, the joint of this small wing, I hope they're molded in grey color as well, so it won't see too obviously. But overall, the whole figure looks great. And one of the major features is the carpet can be opened up and it looks amazing. When you look at inside closely, there is a control panel, a seat, and all the detail has molded inside. Only downside is the window transparent material, it looks a bit foggy and brownish. When the carpet is closed, you will not able to see all detail inside. What a shame. Look at the engine part. The molded detail is great, but I still think they're a bit too thick. If they're thinner, it would be perfect. Although it's not good enough, but they still have a special feature that you can add the LED light. Remember, totally it had given 3 LED compartments, but it's really small. It's kind of difficult to put it all the way in. You will need a tool to install it. They don't have anything to lock it in place, but it fits perfectly. Here we have both LED light on the engine part. The LED light bulb is not in the middle, instead they are on the side. Even though they have 2, but unfortunately it's been covered with the engine part. So the red LED light has been blocked and wouldn't see through. And the second part is I'm really impressed is the wing. They are totally nailed it on the jet mode. To be honest, as I said before, I never get in touch with the F4 Phantom before. The joint on these sections, not only for the bot mode, it actually for the jet mode as well. When I'm doing the research, this is what happened on the wings. When this fighter jet is rest, the wing will be folded up. And on the jet mode, this figure can do exactly the same. Just like all the Transformer figure, especially the jet mode, when looking from the below, you will see a lot of things going on. But in my opinion, so far this figure doing well. Although it's so busy, but at least they cover everything instead of leaving a big hole to make it look hollow. In the Transformer figure, when they come to old mode, we're always looking for some place to store the weapon. And this one, you can actually place the arm cannon on top of the jet nose. Simply line it up and there is a hinge on top and below the jet nose. Just plug it in and here you go. To be honest, it looks ridiculous. Although it's cool, but it doesn't make sense. So I'm not gonna do it anymore. Alright, let's talk about the side. Here I have my A3 side cutting map. As we can see, the jet has covered almost all place. So the jet length is about 42 cm. And about the width, I measure it is about 28 cm. Let's do a quick comparison. Here I have the F12 start screen on the jet mode. Compared to the bot mode, F12 is a lot smaller. Here I got the TE Bumblebee. On the vehicle mode, the sides looks fantastic together. I think it's so cool. What do you think? Please leave the comments below and let me know. Alright, here's the conclusions. I love it both bot mode and the jet mode on this figure. You will notice that I always compare with the CGI, even the screen print from the movie, because I noticed that, consider the copyright issue and the physics problem, the final figure might not be able to design completely the same. And when it comes to need to transform to the accuracy, it's even more difficult. The amount of detail this figure had is really impressed me. That's definitely need to give the credit to the designer team of this figure. Although it's good, but they still have downsides. The main problems I believe is the communication fault between the design and the manufacturing team. The material of this figure is good, but it still can be improved. But the calculation between all the joint and support, that is the main issue. I'm really happy looking forward for other figure that is designed from this team at the future. On the next video, I will do some minor repaint, cell printed water decal techniques, and major modifications. Make sure you don't miss it. Alright, here's a wrap. At the end of the video, I will do a quick transformation from the jet mode back to the bot mode. Thanks again for staying until now. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up, share, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss the coming soon video. I'll see you soon!